Ukulele Friday. Good to see you. Glad you're here. I can't see you. You can see me. I think you're getting the short end of the stick here. Okay, let's go post this link over on the website. The website, jollyrogerukulele.com. You would already know that if you're watching this video, almost certainly. And on the Jolly Roger Ukulele website, if you are unfamiliar, you will find all of the sheet music for all of our broadcasts. You will find just a heap and a whole lot of load of sheet music and instruction. It is, I am unaware of any better program out there that will teach you to play at the highest levels. And what we want to do here is take people that either have a little music background, a lot of music background, doesn't matter, whatever your background is, and then take you and help crank you up to that next level. And I think that this program does that pretty effectively and pretty quickly. Today, in Book 1, we will be revisiting Frère, Jacques and doing quite a bit of strumming today. And then for the week ahead, we're going to be looking at bar chords, making it the best bar that you can. And then in Book 2 at 3:30, which is 29 minutes from now, we will play through For He's a Jolly Good Fellow, and then we'll study Happy Birthday Blinky style, which takes Happy Birthday, puts it in 4/4 time, and makes it a little crazy so that you could amplify and amp up the coolness of your Happy Birthday presentations. And then today at 4, an hour from now, I don't know. Everything I have in my stuff says Book 3, but online I want it to sound fancy, so we call it TuffRawk. And we're going to play through 5 songs: Acadian Lullaby, Anti-Lullaby, Cossack Lullaby, Hansel and Gretel Lullaby, and Tili Tili Bom. I think we'll put Tili Tili Bom before Hansel and Gretel, so you end on a more positive note. And then you will, and we'll do that on, and we do everything on ukulele and baritone, so it doesn't matter which instrument you have. You will still get the same stuff. Plus, you get to play in an ensemble situation. And my big thing is to get you to thinking about, hey, sometimes I play solo, and sometimes I play with other people. I'm ready for both situations, and that's what we do here. Nobody really wants to listen to ukulele players, and so getting you where you're comfortable playing on your own for yourself or your dog or your cat. And then when you get together with other ukulele players, we love to hear ukulele music, that you're ready and can jump in, no problem whatsoever. All right, skip. I'm going to post this on Twitter real quick, HTTPS. jollyrogerukulele.com. I always say ukulele because that's the way you're supposed to say it. Nobody says it that way, but it makes me feel happy. All right, open and tweet. All right, so there's that. I gotta get some better art on this computer for Jolly Roger. Let's see. Vic is in. She says sound is good, video is good. Sunny up in Eugene. It's summertime up in the Oregon coast. She's not really on the coast, so about time, right? I was out running around Denver today. It's about 90 something out there and hot. rather. I don't know. I'm not an outdoor guy, so it's kind of grody. I grew up I grew up in Colorado. Every weekend, my dad drugged me up to the mountains, so honestly, if I have a Bic lighter, I'm fine. I can survive in the wilderness. You gotta have a Bic lighter. You gotta have a way to make a fire. And other than that, I'm fine up there. So I know being outside. And then as I got to be an adult, I'm like, I don't know why I would go outside. It's lovely inside, and there's music here. So that's what I'm doing. Hey, let's do this in reverse order today. So grab your barchord worksheet paper, ukulele book 1, and it's called Make a Better Bar. Okay, Make a Better Bar, ukulele. Okay, baritones, grab yours, it's fine. Same exact procedure. We will just have you start on a different fret than it says. Okay, double checking those of you who are newer to ukulele. If you're a normal, that word doesn't apply in our world anymore. If you're an average sized adult with average sized hands, you should be playing a tenor ukulele. If your fingers are a little bit big, a little bit thicker, whatever, you should probably be thinking about baritone ukulele. Once you learn the difference between a baritone ukulele and a regular ukulele, you want to own both. But some people, their hands are just too big for a regular ukulele, and so they play baritone ukulele. And then if your fingers are shorter, concert size is probably good. I've sold two ukuleles in all these years to people with such small hands that they needed a soprano. So mostly you don't need it. I play on a soprano a lot, just because they're small and cute and it's traditional and it's fun, but not for serious music, right? For serious music, I want to be on a tenor. You've got a strap on. You are tuned to George Clooney Eats Apples, and in order to do that, you own a snark tuner. You put that on the end. You want to snark because they're way better than the other ones. That one is dead. Do I have another? Oh, I have another tuner. Hold on. No. Where's my tuner? Here's my tuner. I'll find a tuner here. Hold on. I have, I don't know, probably 20 of them, and they just wander off. I don't know. Eventually they all come back, but I don't know. Why do I only have one over there? George Clooney eats apples. Doesn't that sound nice? That makes sure. Back in the day, we said that sound that says "My dog has fleas." That doesn't mean anything from a musical standpoint, but it's kind of fun. All right, next thing up. Make a better bar. That's lesson 10 of the book 1 series. All we're talking about when making a better bar, and this is something I want you to work on this week, is to get your right hand picking arpeggios and your left hand creating a nice clean bar. So if we hold this on 0 fret, in other words, you're not actually doing anything, and then you're going to do thumb on the top string, index coming up on the 3rd string, middle finger coming up on the 2nd string, ring finger coming up on the 1st string. Bum, 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 bum. So that's the pattern with your right hand. Thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring, P-I-M-A. P-I-M-A is Spanish. They use that in classical guitar. P-I-M-A. Then with this hand, we're going to first do 0. Okay. By the way, if you're on a baritone, to play along with me, just start on fret 5. When you get to 12, then jump back to 1. Okay, so if you're on baritone, just start on 5, and you'll be the same as me on 0. Okay. Then we're going to go up to 1. Baritones, you go up to 6. Bum, 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 bum. Let's talk about what's going on here. I am making sure my thumb is where you can't see it. I am making sure that it is slightly, I don't know if you can see this, slightly ahead of where the middle finger is. It's really basically going to try to hang out behind where my middle finger is. In the beginning, it is okay to take your middle finger and squash down your bar. Okay, and you would stretch it out full length. Okay, then in the beginning, that gives you just a little bit more strength to get it clean. Okay, now it's entirely possible you're going to hear this sound. Okay, that's okay. Talk yourself into. It's not ideal, but it's okay. That's how you're playing your bar right now. Eventually, you're going to squeeze tight enough where it comes out clean. Okay. Next measure, measure 3. In baritones, you're going to go to 7. Ukulele players, you're on 2. And you're going to play that. Okay. If your bar is going poorly, try pushing it up just a smidge or pulling it down just a smidge. Sometimes that's helpful. Another thing that I learned many years ago, which I think is super helpful, roll it forward just a little bit or set it on the bar, roll it back a little bit. Okay. Okay, one of those will fit your hand a little bit better than the other. Our goal is that you only have the bar and all 4 strings are down cleanly. On some of the other instruments, we don't necessarily do that because it's almost impossible. So you're counting on these other fingers to cover up some of your mess. But on ukulele, we really do want to be able to get all 4 strings clean. And so if you have to press down, that's okay. Okay, let's go to measure 4, which is on the 3s. Baritones, you're on 8. Ready, play. Go up 1 more fret. 1 more fret. Keep going. Baritones, you're on 12. Now you go back to 1. Ukulele players, we keep going up. This is 12. Now when you get to 12, we're going to teach our right hand something cool. Now you're going to go backwards. Ring, middle, index, thumb. Drop this back 1. Ring, middle, index, thumb to 10. Hear me hit a bad one? That's how we play this page. Okay, your hand should be hurting, right? This finger should be like, ow, that really hurt. Down here in your lower part of your thumb, that should probably have hurt a little bit as well. What will happen over time? Your bar is going to get much better. Okay, it may never be great, but you're going to get less of that and more of that over time. I only give out a couple of things that are worksheet type things. This is one of them because it's that important. You should, every single time you play ukulele, when you sit down, you don't need the paper, you just need your body and your memory. You're going to sit down, you get your ukulele all set up, you're all happy to play, you tune your ukulele up, and then you run through that program. Okay, so I sit down, I'm tuned up. Takes you what, 15 seconds, something like that, and you heard lots of dead bad notes along there. I didn't do them on purpose, it just they happen. But take a minute every single time you sit down to play. Do that, because here's what's going to happen. In the beginning, you probably get a lot of that, and you're also not running this hand even, right? So it'll be like, right? You'll be all crazy and weird over time. Right hand will start being really nice and cooperative. Okay. You notice when I came down here and I turned around, I had a little bit of a hiccup. Okay. I think ring, middle, index, thumb is way harder to play than thumb, index, middle, ring, only because I do thumb, index, middle, ring a lot more than I do ring, middle, index, thumb. But we do both, and so you want to get good at both. And then you notice as I was doing that, I'm going as fast as I possibly can and still get good tone. And in a lot of cases, I was failing. You know, I was hitting, but I got to this bottom string, hit a little bit of a clunk because I'm too busy worrying about moving it up. So this is really one of the very few exercise worksheets that I give you. But it's really actually going to be very helpful because even on Monday night coming up in Ukulele Orchestra, I'm going to be talking to them about the 10 bar chord shapes. There's only 10 that you need to know for all all of your majors, all of your minors, all of your sevenths, and all of your diminished. 10 shapes. And all of them will require you to use your bars. And so the sooner your bar comes along, the sooner that's feeling like, hey man, I got no problem with running my bar, then the whole rest of the fretboard opens up to you. We don't, in this style of ukulele, ever use a capo. Okay, if you are a singer and you're only going to sing and you're only going to play open chords, there are reasons where you might use a capo. You see guitar players doing it all the time, but they're not really guitar players. They are singers who have a guitar. Okay? They use capos all of the time, and that's the way they don't have to play the complicated chord shapes. They can play easier chord shapes and then sing at whatever key is comfortable for their voice. But on ukulele, especially fingerstyle ukulele, you're just not going to get away with that. You can't bolt something onto your fretboard and hope that it's just going to work out. So we learn our bar chords. Super important, super helpful, super handy little piece of information that's going to make your life way better and more interesting, and will keep you in music and keep you playing this instrument in particular for the rest of your life. I mean, every single time I sit down to arrange music, I have bar chords sneak into that, and I no longer worry about it. That's just what it is. But as you are, when you're a newer player and you're thinking, I don't really like bar chords, they kind of hurt, they kind of sound crummy, right? You kind of think, I'll just play stuff that doesn't have bar chords in it. In order to play good music at a high level, you're going to have bar chords, and so I want you to get good at it. This piece of paper is the secret. You'll notice we had a bunch of papers that we didn't really look at very carefully in lessons 1 through 7. Then Frère, Jacques, I keep pounding in your head. This little strumming book, I keep pounding in your head, and this one. So really, third meaningful lesson. Here we go, bar chords, because if you're in other styles of ukulele where you don't treat this as an instrumental machine, it's theoretically possible and in some crazy world to not do bar chords very much, but you don't want to go there, right? We want to play the hard way. We want to play the good way. We want to play with a complete tool set, and I hope that I have now pounded into your head that the bar chords are important. Okay, Yago is here. Good to see you, my man. Linda, cloudy with sunny breaks. Okay, humid, 73 degrees, beautiful. I guess we'll call that a beautiful day in Vancouver. Diane is here, taking a little bit of time to find the music. The music for TuffRawk or Book 3 is on the members page. Go to the members page, scroll down to Lullabies, down below the haunted house, and you'll find it there. And Anne, you made it in! Yay! So good to have you. Anne and I have gotten to know each other through getting her signed up for Jolly Roger. It's been a bit of an adventure, but you're all set. You made it. I'm so glad you're here. All right. Make a better bar. Don't fool around with it. Do it. Okay? Every day. Takes you less than a minute to tune up your ukulele, run through the bar, let it be crummy for now until it gets better. And then when it's better, keep doing it. Okay? All right. Glenwood Springs and sunny! Exclamation point. Those of you who haven't been to Glenwood Springs, Colorado, it's one of the magical places in the world. It's got this super heavy duty Sulphur Springs hot tub giant pool up there, hanging out in the Colorado Rockies, just down the street from Aspen. It's a pretty good place. All right. Before we go into strumming, we're going to spend a little bit of time on strumming, but I want to play Frère Jacques, okay? And I want to play it on baritone, and I want to play it on ukulele. If you're on baritone, your chord is dun, dun, dun. These 3 ones, okay? That's what you're holding, and you're going to strum. If you're on ukulele, you're going to play the tablature. 0240, 0240, 457, 457, 79754, 79754, Yeah, and by the way, Diane got me this shirt. It has a pirate on it. All right. From the top, Frère Jacques, ukulele players play the melody, baritone players, you're on chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully that came out of your ukulele just beautiful. Like, oh my gosh, that's great. If you're going to teach somebody else how to play ukulele, this is the first page you give them. Don't think that the strumming stuff is the way to go. It's not. I can assure you, it is a cul-de-sac in the highway of music that people get stuck in all of the time. Guitar players and ukulele players they just drown over in that cul-de-sac called chords, and they don't learn how to play music. They learn how to strum this very limited set of things, and I want you guys to be better than that, and I want you to be better teachers than that. So Frère, Jacques, getting them to make a melody up and down the neck, one note at a time on one string with picking out the fret numbers, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. All right, now baritone players, let's get you guys up and running. Same thing, but ukulele players, now you got to do an E chord when they're playing. So guess what? It takes a bar chord on 4, pinky on 7. So bar chord all the way across the 4s, and then pinky up here on 7. That's your E chord. Okay, that's what you got to play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now remember, you can play a thumb down, or you can play with a 4-finger pluck. Either of those are really good. The 4-finger pluck's going to turn out to be super helpful, so you don't want to neglect working on that. Let me grab the baritone. I'm supposed to have a tuner on this one too. I don't know where all my tuners went. Let's see. Okay, close enough. Baritone players, we're going to play the melody. Ukulele players, you're playing the chord. 1, 2, ready, play. Hopefully that's coming smoothly for you. If it's not, obviously you need to spend a little bit more time on it. Just get yourself comfortable with that style of play, because starting here, well, really next week, we're going to be digging into scales. We're going to be digging into more complicated music. We have one more strumming exercise after today that we're going to work on. So make sure that Frère Jacques is part of every single thing that you do, that you understand how that chord works, that you understand how the melody notes work, that you understand the difference between when you're looking at the baritone page and you're on ukulele, what do you do then? And when you're on the ukulele page and you have a baritone in your hand, what do you do then? That's this ensemble thing that I preach all the time. I want you to be able to play solo, and I want you to be able to play ensemble. And this one sheet of paper, big deal. All right. Now, we want to look at your strummers. So grab your little booklet. In fact, last week I played on baritone, and this week I'm going to use the ukulele. Okay. All right. Remember, on that little booklet, the strumming booklet, the strumming in the key of A, we will not look at this again until the next time this comes around, unfortunately. But this isn't something to neglect. This is something that you can sit at your house and kind of goof around with and have fun with. Remember, the ones in red headlines are one-chord songs. So, Frère Jacques, okay, or Three Blind Mice. 3 blind mice. So those are one-chord songs that have the red headlines. You have row, row, row your boat in D. Row, row, row your boat. Blah, 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 blah. Farmer in the Dell is also there. Farmer in the Dell. You know, when you bought a ukulele, you thought, I sure hope I can learn a Farmer in the Dell one of these days. Well, here it is. The farmer in the dell. The farmer in the dell. Hi-ho, the dairy-o. The farmer in the dell. Greatest song ever written. And then the last one, that lime and a coconut one, that's the one that you got to be a little goofy with when you work on it, especially like if you're teaching kids. They love this song. I put Doctor in bold. I'm going to be teaching up at the Suzuki Institute here in a couple weeks, and I guarantee you the little kids are going to go wild for the Doctor part of it. The older kids will be like, that's not funny. I am a serious musician, and you know, whatever. But that E7 chord is pretty important. My brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. one. My sister had another one and spent it on a lime. You put the lime in coconut, shake it all up. You put the lime in the coconut, drink it all up. You put the lime in the coconut, and then you perk on up. Join me. Called the doctor, woke him up, and here is what I said. I said, doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, doctor, to relieve this bellyache. I said, doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? You put the lime in the coconut, drink 'em both together. Put the lime in the coconut, then you'll feel much better. Put the lime in the coconut and call me in the... And do you know how to do a tremolo yet? Open palm, bend this over. This is what your hand looks like. Okay, and we're going to do it up and down. Don't do tremolo like this. Too much motion. Okay, don't move your whole arm. You're only going to move your hand. You're going to kind of do a twisting doorknob thing. Okay, and I like to leave my palm open so that I got some weight counterbalancing it. And call me in the morning. And I don't know if they do it at all strum-alongs, but our strum-along here in Denver, we used to do that. See, whoever could tremolo the longest wins. Now, let's take a look at it. What time we got? We got 5 minutes. Perfect. Go to page... That's a stupid song. Let's do... I'm looking for a song that doesn't make me want to die. Page 10. Go to page 10. Look at page 10 in your little booklet. London Bridge is Falling Down. That's a pretty good song, actually. Okay. We're going to use 2 chords. We're going to use the A chord, and we're going to use the E7. And if you're on baritone, your shapes are A chord and E7. So your chords are just as easy as ours are on ukulele. Okay? You use those chords, and let's play. The first little idea, let's do 4-finger pluck. Then the second idea, let's do either a thumb down strum or an index finger strum, down, up, down, up. And then the third little section, you do whatever you want. Okay? So from the top, London Bridges, 1, 2, ready, go. London Bridges fall, change, down, falling down, falling. Oh, I had the wrong chord on. I was like, that sounds wrong. I was playing in D. Let me go from A. 1, 2, ready, play. London Bridge is falling down, change, falling down, change back, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, change, my fair lady. Okay, now let's do thumb down, ready, play. Build it up with silver and gold, change, silver and gold, silver and gold. Build it up with silver and gold, my fair lady. Okay, and then the last one, I told you could do whatever you want. Don't do that. Index finger, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, and then I changed the words on the song to make it more British, because lock her up seemed very negative at the time I was putting this book together. So let's do a nice version of it. All right, take the key, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and take the key and have some tea. Change, have some tea, have some tea. Take the key and have some tremolo on the end. Sounds, yeah, you don't need to do that, but you could. The thought process that I'm going through here is I needed to be able to get from A to E7. That's job one. And that's the problem with strumming is people think that that's the only job in strumming. There's way more interesting things to do once you get comfortable with your chords, right? So your chord is here and your chord is here. You're going to do those. But what if the music comes out of your right hand? So what are you going to do over here to make it interesting? You can do thumb down. You can do index finger up and down. You could do thumb and everybody down. Boom, chuck, boom, chuck, boom, chuck, boom, chuck. You could do the 4-finger pluck. You could do a 3-finger pluck. Just ignore the top string. You could do thumb, index, middle, index. So thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index. You could do thumb, index, middle, ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So be mindful. The sound of your ukulele does not come out of this hand. It comes out of this hand. And so you want as much as possible to think of as many cool and different ways of working your right hand. And then you're going to sound a lot more complex when you play. Last song I want to work on today out of this little booklet is on page 12. Okay, my favorite song in the book, On Top of Spaghetti. This is a song of hope. Okay, it reaches the wrong conclusion, but it absolutely is going to give you hope for the future when you find out what happens to your poor meatball. Okay, remember your chords are, if you're on ukulele, A chord looks like this, D chord looks like this, and E7 looks like that. Okay, if you're on baritone, A chord looks like this, D chord looks like this, E7 looks like that. You play your chords for whatever instrument you're on. We will all sound great together. Okay? Ensemble, On Top of Spaghetti, nice and slow, not too fast. 1, 2. Oh, it's a 2-beat count, and then we go. 1, 2. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor. And then my poor meatball rolled right out the door too. It rolled down the gutter and under a bush. And now my poor meatball is nothing but mush. The rain came and soaked it as wet as can be. And early next summer it grew to a tree. The tree was all covered with beautiful moss. It grew lovely meatballs, all covered in sauce. Now I'm going to stop you just for a second. Let's say that you got all those chords perfectly, no problem, no, everything was great, right? You don't need to listen to the next sentence. If you struggled with getting one or the other chords on, let me give you the top secret thing of all ukulele players everywhere. You can just strum one time per chord. You really can. Okay? Strum one time, and then who cares what's going on in the song? Get your next chord on so that you're on and right. So put your A chord on. I'm going to go to sauce. Okay? All covered in sauce. If you eat get your D chord on. Spaghetti, all covered in cheese. Hang on to that meatball and don't ever sneeze. Okay? Idea here is when you first start strumming, it's entirely possible it's going to feel like a lot because it is a lot. But it's not going to be very long before that's no longer a lot. But if you get to go to the strum along or you go hang out with other people who are playing ukulele or other musicians and your job is to do chords, it is 100% okay just to hit a chord and then do nothing while you're getting your next chord on. and then do nothing. Okay, that's where you start, and that way you can make sure you're at least having something to do on the first beat of when that chord shows up. And then over time, obviously, getting additional sounding in between those spots sounds better, probably. I would say at this song, if you get to the end and you want to make it all dramatic, that's the perfect way to end. If you eat spaghetti, and especially if you're a better singer than I am, you can really use that to your voice's advantage. Just create the chord, and then let your voice fill in the rest of the space. It can be a really fun thing for people who are better vocalists to get that done. All right, there's On Top of Spaghetti. That's my favorite song in the book. How do you use this book going forward? If you are learning ukulele, make sure you've played through every single song. They all work. Every single one of them. I've been teaching out of this book for many years. There's nothing in here that I would change at all. Okay, it is. In my mind, this is the one book that I put together is like perfect, right? Everything works in here. However, once you've gotten it put together, don't turn this into like this was going to be my life. These are fun songs. They're songs that every person my age and older probably knows, but young people don't know these songs. So if you have a grandkid or a next door neighbor or a millennial, right? They'll know Wheels on the Bus, but they won't know Vive la Compagnie. They won't know. They probably don't know Clementine. The chances of them having run across Danny Boy or She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain are pretty remote because they usually have grown up on Disney tunes, and Disney tunes are much more complex, and we don't just sit around singing and strumming in them usually. At least not when we're learning. So you can share these with people you know, and they'll be like, "Oh, I never heard that song before." And they, little kids fall in love with Do Your Ears Hang Low and that kind of stuff. So you can use this booklet to help somebody else. Like if you have a friend and they're like, "Oh, I heard you're taking ukulele lessons. Why don't you show me some stuff?" Take this book, teach them Frère Jacques first, then take this book, and then you're off and set. All right, that's it for book one. This week I want you to get your Make a Better bar together. I want you to make sure Frère Jacques is going very smoothly, and I want you to play through this entire book. I want you to try every single song in here, and I want you to commit to memory A chord, F sharp minor, D, and E7, because we haven't even talked about the fact that you have Duke, 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 Duke of Earl, 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 sitting on the front page. Just follow those four chords, do them in order, play each of them 4 times, and you have that song from the 50s sitting in there. And about a bazillion other songs follow that same exact pattern. All right. Hey, Jan, welcome in. Sandy made it in. Carol made it in. You guys are ready for book 2. Let's take a look at book 2. Book 2 today, we are playing, we're going to run through For He's a Jolly Good Fellow. Won't take us but a jiffy. Go grab that one, please. By the way, if you're new, there's no reason for you to leave. You got plenty of things that you can pick up on from this stuff and be working on that as well. Ukulele book 2, For He's a Jolly Good Fellow, and I might have a ukulele on me, so we'll do that one first. Your chords, F chord, okay, B flat. I recommend you use a full bar, but you can use a half bar. Okay, and C7. Okay. You also have in this one, in middle of measure 5, you have an F7, which is this shape, right? It's your F chord, but you add your ring finger on it. Okay, it's a little unusual to see that when the main chord is F. And I'm gonna, when did I do this? I didn't give you full bars. Full bar. All right, beautiful. So let's play it. Remember, as you play down through this, you've got 16th notes at measure 4 and measure 16. So those are real fast. That's about as fast as you can possibly play. For he, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. Okay? But first, let's sing it. Okay, just make sure you got your chords. Baritone players, you're supposed to know your F chord, your B flat, your C7, and your F7. Okay, you're supposed to know. Okay, so baritones, you're for sure on chords. Ukulele players, you got the chords right in front of you. 1, 2. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he, well, I got the wrong chord. I was falling asleep. 1, 2. For he's a jolly good fellow. fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. Oh, for he's a jolly good fellow. Fermata, which nobody can deny. Which nobody can deny. Which nobody can deny. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. Which nobody can deny. Alright, I gotta turn on my page turner. I didn't realize that this was. Hold on a sec. Let me get it. That fast, huh? I bought a new page turner. It's awesome. Alright, so. Those are your chords. Make sure you know your chords on ukulele sheet and baritone sheet. So every time we're going to play a song in book 2, you want to grab both sheets and double check you know what the chord shapes are in both on both sheets. Okay, let's play the melody. Just the melody line. Baritone players are still on chords. 1, 2. Okay, interesting things to pay attention to. Your 8 is an F note, right? On first string on line on string 1, 8th fret. That's an F. Okay, you also have an F here. Okay? So that's your octave. Both showing up in measure 20. How nice. And you also have an F 5th fret 3rd string. The same as the one on the 2nd string. Okay, so that is why down the road when you start dealing with this F chord with the bar, you now know why. Oh man, there's the root note F is right there. Okay, and so I could have, and that's where the you see at the Tuff uke, because that's sitting right there, waiting for you to find it. Okay, bar chords, yay! All right, now let's go ahead and do the Tuff uke. Not as fast as you. So generally with speed, we go down in speed, right? So when you're playing chords and singing, you sing it pretty fast, right? Because your chords, you eventually get where you can get your chords on, no problem. You sing kind of fast. Then you switch to melody playing, and you sometimes slow it down just a little bit because you got a little more work to do. And of course, when you get to Tuff uke, you're going to slow it down. You can slow it down a lot. There's no rule that says you can't play it this slow. That's actually kind of pretty. Okay? Takes kind of a dumb song and turns it into a kind of an awesome song. Okay, we'll play it a little bit faster than that. All right, I should put a tempo on here at some point, shouldn't I? Tempo. Done. All right, from the top, Tuff uke if you can. Baritones, you're still on chords. 1, 2. Pinky, B flat, F chord. Partial C, F chord, partial F, fast, ring finger, bar chord on 5, F shape in front, F chord with the pinky, ring finger, F. Finger, pinky, bar chord. Isn't that lovely? It's a really, really, it's a really pleasant arrangement. All right. That business of getting from the low F to the high B flat is probably comes up, what do you guys think? Twice a month with songs? I mean, it comes up all of the time. It's amazing how often that ends up in songs because of the nature of ukulele. There's some keys that are better than others. While this, and when you first encounter it, this shape going up to this shape feels really complicated. But after a while, you're like, oh yeah, that's what we do, sort of thing. Okay, so know that I know that it is hard. All right, so now we're going to play baritone, okay? And we're going to play the same song, but ukulele players, you now switch to chords. You're going to play a C chord, an F chord, a G7 chord, and then you have your C7, which is just your index finger on first string, first fret. Okay, so those are your chords. You guys have it way easier than the baritone players had it. Baritone players, we're going to play let's play the melody first. How are we doing on time? Fine. We're going to play the melody first, and then we're going to play the Tuff axe or Tuff uke. Okay, so melody first. Ukulele players, this is your chance. You're on chords. Okay, I'm going to sing nothing. 1, 2. Go. Isn't that lovely? Okay. Hopefully, ukulele players, you backed me up. You sounded really great at your house. Together, we had a lovely duet. Nobody had to sing unless they wanted to. Also, singers know if you are in a situation where you're a singer and you're like, well, should I do chords or should I play the melody? You should always play chords. It's much easier to play chords and sing than it is to play melody and sing because you got a lot more mental conundrum going on, a lot more stuff going on when you're playing melody. And so if you're going to sing, try not to play the melody. The only reason you would play melody as a singer is if you're working on getting your voice under control. That note he, for he's a jolly good fellow. That's what you would play the melody for. It's just to help train your voice to hit those notes. And you can tell I've been through school now, and I now know how to do that. I'm still not exactly good at it, but at least I'm better at it. And that's why you would play melody, is to help your voice find its home. But generally speaking, with most singers, if you can get the first note or two correct, then it's going to find its home anyway just by listening to the chords. All right, baritone players, let's play Tuff uke. Ukulele players, you are still on chords. 1, 2. Go. Go. Okay. Nice. I think you're all set to celebrate somebody now. All right. Today's study point is if you didn't grow up in Denver, it's going to hurt your head. So let's get it out. Go grab Happy Birthday, Blinky style, and we're going to study it. There's only one of them, right? So this is a full ensemble arrangement. Happy Birthday, Blinky style. Now, what we have going on here, years ago, this is a moment. I'm gonna rat out my friends. Years ago, we were playing at a small group of us went to play a concert, and it was going great. Everything, it was rehearse, weeks of preparation, and it was going great. And in the middle of the concert, the MC for the evening, she comes up to us and says, "Hey guys, it's so-and-so super important person in the audience's birthday. Can we play Happy Birthday for them?" And our orchestra went into, not the orchestra, the small group I was playing with, they got verklempt instantly because we hadn't practiced Happy Birthday. None of them had the chords memorized. They didn't know what it was. I had to run upstairs real quick to the printer, print out some Happy Birthdays real quick. And thankfully, I was able to hand it out to the orchestra real quick, and we were ready to play Happy Birthday. One, boo, right? That should not be you. Two, these were advanced players. They should have been able to fake their way through it. And three, Happy Birthday is one of those things that should be part of your wheelhouse. So make sure that you know your chords: G, D7, G, G, D7, G, D7, C, G, D7, G, right? So just memorize them that way. When it comes up and it's time to play Happy Birthday, you can play it. But this arrangement here is at next level. So then I was like, I'm going to make sure every player that I ever teach knows this chords to Happy Birthday. That could never happen again. And then I thought, well, I'm going to make it way harder. I'm going to crank up the challenge here. And so what? Those of you who grew up in Denver and are my age or older, you will remember Blinky's Fun Club. And on, I think it was Saturday mornings, you could go down and be on Blinky's Fun Club. And he was a clown, and he would sing Happy Birthday, and it was a great moment in your life. I never got to go down there, but a lot of kids I knew did go down there. Very jealous, right? And then, of course, it turned out Blinky was a bad guy, and they canceled the show, and then he got all negative, and it was just sort of one of those things where you're like, ugh, right? So it didn't go well in the end. But at the time when we were kids, going to be on Blinky's Fun Club and getting him to sing Happy Birthday was a big deal. What he did was he took Happy Birthday, which is in 3/4 time, and he put it into 4/4 time. And so I have to sing it for you so you know what's going on here. Otherwise, you'll do it wrong. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Shugga, shug, shugga, shug. Happy birthday to you. Shugga, shug, shug, shug. Happy birthday, dear children. Happy birthday to you. Shuggy, shug, shug, shug. Okay, so that's what he did, right? And one time I actually met Blinky, and I said, "Hey, Blinky, I sing Happy Birthday like you sing Happy Birthday." And he said, in typical not cool Blinky style, he said, "Nobody sings Happy Birthday like I sing Happy Birthday." And you're like, okay, now I see why they canceled your show. Now, let's go through a couple things. This page is set up to be an ensemble piece of music, so it doesn't matter what instrument you're on, you're all playing from the same instrument. Baritones, you see, you got your G chord. Okay, so you're all set. Ukulele players, you have your chords: G, D7, G, D7, C, right? And then you got the G, the D7, and the G. Okay, so you're all set. Let's play together and just the chords. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Shugga, shug, shug, shug. Happy birthday to you. Shugga, shug, shug, shug. Happy birthday, dear children. repeat, right? So that's your chords. Everybody's got their chords. You don't need to use a different piece of paper. Some of you are playing one shape and some of you are playing a different shape. Doesn't matter. We're all playing a G chord. Next thing coming up is the melody. Okay, so ukulele players, you have your melody line. Baritone, you have a different melody line, and so but interestingly, they're all same pitch. So let's play your melodies. We'll play those together. I'm on baritone, and hopefully you're not. But if you are, we'll sound the same. From the top, 1, 2, 3. Okay, bum, bum, bum. Okay, and then you repeat. Okay, so that's your melody. Now baritones, I did cheat, right? I just played the top note of the Tuff axe so that it would sound like pure melody. But you're probably not going to do that. Okay. Now, there is an arpeggio line in here. It's not necessary for you to play it, but if you got a group of people together and you were like, hey, well, let's have a really cool, awesome happy birthday. That's what I did with our orchestra. I said, this is what we're going to play when we play happy birthday. And so we practice it, we rehearse it, all this stuff. The first time you play through it, blah, 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 right? The second time I let them sing, right? And everybody's happy, okay? So let's play it as if it's the second time through, but you're going to start from the very beginning. Hey, Linda. Hey, Don. Welcome. All right, here we go. From the top. What am I on? I'm on baritone. pick your poison. 1, and play the Tuff if you can. If you can't, play the chords or the melody, right? Because we all got a part now. 1, 2, 3. Second ending. Okay. Look how nice the baritones, they just have a plain old G chord. And the ukulele players, you got to go bar on 7, pinky on 10, right? Okay. But it'll make you sound cool. That high G is really awesome on ukulele. All right. Last thing. You play whatever you want to play. I'm going to play harmonica. Okay? So now we have your ukulele, my harmonica, the baritone players, the ukulele players, some people playing chords, some people playing melody. This is my favorite thing in music, is when we get all these people together everybody's doing something different, and we end up with this really amazing experience for music. Happy birthday, Blinky style. I'm going to play harmonica. You're going to play whatever you want to play. Let's play together. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Chug, chug, chug. Chug, chug, chug. Go. Doom, 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 chung. I should have told you to go to the second ending. But so you have the world's greatest happy birthday arrangement in your hands. Okay, there's no better happy birthday out there. By the way, if you want to play regular happy birthday, and which is what you're likely to do, is at some point somebody else's birthday and you can be like, I'm going to go embarrass them. I'm going to go take my ukulele and sing it to them. Here's your chords: G, D7, G, D7, C, G, D7, G. Just memorize them. Just make it. I asked you to memorize 3 things, right? I asked you to memorize how to play Frère, Jacques. I asked you to memorize how to play Happy Birthday, and I asked you to memorize my spaghetti monster, right? So that you have a nice chord melody piece of music. 3 pieces. We have 700 of them or something on the website. I want you to memorize 3. Okay, and that's so Blinky style or regular Happy Birthday, whatever. The chords are always going to be the same. All right. Now, so this week at your house, you're going to work on Happy Birthday Blinky style, and you're going to turn it into something magical, and we'll play it next week. And then next week, I wanted to go peek because I was noticing on here, if I scroll down to book 2, next week we play Vive la Compagnie. Now, a lot of you guys don't know that song, but it is awesome. Da 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 dum da 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 dum da dum, right? And you feel very, and it's no, if you're a Boy Scout you might know it, but it's French and we're all sticking together and it's very rousing and all this, and so I want you to, if you are bored this week, take a look at it. The chords are not that complex, but they're a little bit more complex. It's a 4-chord pattern, and ukulele, yours is in C, and baritone you'll be in G, but we'll end up with this kind of rousing rendition of it, and it'll be really fun, and so that's coming up next week. So if you want to, peek ahead and see what we're going to work on there, and also, have I mentioned how important it is to know how to play Happy Birthday without sheet music? Okay, good. I thought I did. All right, there we go. It's 4 o'clock. We have a lot of work to do in the TuffRawk group. Let me grab the list. Our lullabies. I've been planning on having a lullaby section on Jolly Rider forever, and we finally have one. 2 of them are lovely, and if you add Brahms Lullaby in, 3 of them are really lovely. Like Brahms Lullaby, Acadian Lullaby, and Hansel and Gretel Lullaby are really top-notch. Cossack Lullaby is okay, and then Anti-Lullaby and Tili Tili Bom are sort of the opposite of lullabies, right? So in my mind, we got it all. We got all the bases covered. We're ready to either put people to sleep or have them question our sanity. So let's just do them in order. We'll do Acadian Lullaby first, and we'll do it on ukulele first. The reason I like to always do most of you guys are on ukulele, and so that's why I usually kind of put a little bit more effort into that, just because it's a numbers game, right? But that doesn't mean I don't think baritone is important. It also doesn't mean that I don't think you should own both. When you first get started, it's a lot to ask. But as you get pretty good at this, when you are ready to play at book 3 level, that's the time you start thinking, maybe I should have both. Gary seems to think it's important. It's not that you're going to play one or the other. Ukulele is probably still going to be your main business, but baritone gives you some options that ukulele doesn't. It gives you that deeper resonance. It gives you a little bit longer sustain. It gives you the fact that it's actually, they're not very expensive compared to ukuleles. And it also makes you a much more useful player when you go do something else with some people. They all show up with their ukuleles. You show up with a baritone. You're automatically going to be on chords. You're automatically going to be carrying out, keeping the rhythm. You're going to become the drummer. They're going to be looking to you as the leader, and it's going to be great. All right. This one has a painful ukulele. I'm not going to play that today, but definitely if you think, hey, that's a pretty song, let's start working on that painful ukulele, and just remember your chord shapes are going to make it easy for you to play all that cool, beautiful, fancy arpeggio patterns. Okay, it's a great one to work on that. I will play the tough uke. You can play the melody, you can play the chords, whatever makes you happy. I'm looking at the ukulele sheet music, and we play down to 18, come back to the top. From the top, 4-beat count in, not fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. Let me hit the right notes to get started. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty. Isn't that lovely? That's just a really lovely tune. If you're in Canada, you're required to play that one. Okay. Now let's go grab the baritone version of it. Okay. Ukulele players, you're in the key of C. That's your home planet. Let's do this. And I said I wasn't going to play it, but just notice how beautiful the painful uke is. Whoops. You can have a really beautiful piece of music. Like if you've got something coming up where they want a solo, just play that. It's really amazing. All right, from Tuff Uke, I'm gonna play Tuff Uke. You play whatever you like. Baritone version of Acadian Lullaby. 1, 2, ready, play. I love it, right? It's not the song. It's not Brahms' Lullaby, but it's pretty good, and quite pleasant. Let's see. Cat's in. Hey, Cat. 104 degrees in East Texas. Heat index of 114. Melting. All right. So I'm wearing a Texas shirt from that Diane gave me, and so I'm with you in spirit, Cat. I'm not going down anywhere near there into that state, but there we go. 68 degrees up there. Sweat. I know. Sandy's wearing a sweatshirt. That's funny. All right. Good to have you guys. All right. Anti-Lullaby. Okay, let's go change the whole idea completely. Anti-Lullaby, grab the ukulele version. Now again, let me reiterate: if you have not seen the on whatever it's on Hannah, this song may not mean that much to you. But once you've seen that song, once you've seen that show, you're like, oh, that is really a song I want to play. Okay, so this is this is the opposite of a lullaby, right? Anti-lullaby, a little creepy, a little weird, a little out there, but look at how with 3 chords, look at this lush landscape of cool things that are going to happen. I will probably struggle to play it just a tiny bit, and so give me a little bit of toleration here, but this is a really interesting piece of music. Okay. And it was written in 2018, so you're playing modern. You're sort of like a teenager playing the hits here. From the top, any way you want to play it. I'm on ukulele sheet music. 1, 2, 3. that creepy? It's kind of not really creepy. It's really beautiful, actually. One thing I want to change: measure 13. That 0 on the first string should really be a 0 on the second string. So I'm going to eliminate that top 0. It just sounds a little weird, and it's correct, but it's not. It doesn't work. All right, there we go. There's a ukulele. Let's go grab the baritone version. Okay, and ukulele players, when you grab this baritone version, you're looking at B minor, E minor, and G. Right? I'm assuming 3 of you looked it up. On ukulele, B minor is a bar chord on 2 with your A minor shape in front. So that's on 4, right? So that's your B minor shape right there. Okay? E minor, hopefully you know, index, middle, and ring on the ukulele. And then G chord, of course, you know. Okay? So those are your 3 chords. Let's see how we do. I really... I adore this piece of music, so if you hate it, don't tell me. All right, here we go. From the top. This is advanced music, by the way. This is hard to play, right? That's what I mean, when it says quarter note equals 60, you really should take that seriously. It is a challenging piece of music. Only 3 chords, but just really weird notes that we don't usually use. 1, 2, 3. To the top. Second ending. played that ending too fast. I should slow it down. Always slow it down at the end. Isn't that cool? That's such a cool piece of music. I hope that you don't hate it. Go watch the series Hannah. It's a lot of blowing up and shooting and running around all over Europe. It's lovely. Same thing on this one. Measure 13. I'm going to get rid of that top 0. Put the 0 on the second string and fix that. Done. All right. Beautiful. Anti-Lullaby. Speaking of lullabies that are a little bit weird, let's go take a look at Cossack Lullaby. Now let's do the ukulele one first. The Cossack region is actually where all the conflict is going on in Russia right now. The Cossacks were from the eastern Ukraine area, so it's actually something of a timeless song. And I gave you links on the member site to the videos that inspired me to put these together when it was made sense. So Anti-Lullaby, Cossack Lullaby, Hansel and Gretel Lullaby, and Tili Tili Bom all have links to YouTube videos of professionals putting them together. All right, Jan says nice tune. That's sweet. Cossack Lullaby. All right, remember you're singing to your baby who's the Cossack. Okay, and he's going to grow up to be really good. Pretty tough baritone chords. Hopefully you already looked them up. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go. To the top. Go. Go. Second ending. I think that would put a Cossack warrior baby to sleep. Lovely. All right, let's do the baritone version. When I was putting this together, I thought, boy, this seems super negative. These he's warning the baby that there's dark waters flowing, evil brings daggers from the rivers. You know, this is what you're singing to your baby? All right, fine. Okay. All right. I've been doing all thumb. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do this one a little plucky. Okay. See how we do. From the top. One. You like that slide up the neck? Jen says this one. Right. You could do that. Right. Be a little careful. If you don't have your calluses yet, you may not want to do that because you can cut your finger open. But if you've got your calluses, right. And I always prefer, if I can, when I'm going to do vibrato at the end like that, I prefer to use my ring finger or my middle finger because they're the most wiggly. I can wiggle them, right? Ring's perfect. If I use my index, which I did on that song, you kind of got to force it a little bit more than that. But grab your ring finger, right? Sounds very professional, very fancy. All right, from the top, I'm going to pluck this one. 1, 2, ready, go. 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 Second ending. Missed my one. Lovely. All right, Cossack Lullaby. Yeah, feels very there. What's next? Hansel and Gretel Lullaby. Let's save that for last, right? Because I don't want you to end on Tili Tili Bom. So go grab Tili Tili Bom for me. Tili Tili Bom is the weirdest song ever, and so let's do that one first. Get it so that it's not stuck in your head. The problem with Tili Tili Bom is it will get in your head, and then you can't get it out, and you'll be in the kitchen, making breakfast, and you'll be hearing this weird, horrible thing in your head, and you'll be like, ugh, Gary. All right. Where's my tuner? Let's see how we're doing. A brief commercial announcement. If you don't have to tune your strings up, especially with this hot weather, changing weather, and one day it's hot, one day it's cold, if your strings are always in tune, that means they're worn out and it's time for you to change your strings. Okay, once a year at least. Those of you guys that play may have to do it more than that. I have one student who has to do it every 3 months because she plays so much. So find out who you are. Tili Tili Bom. Play down to 5, come back to the top, play down to 11, come back to the top, play down to the bottom. Okay? And quarter note equals 80, that's generous, like not even that fast, really. Okay? All right. This is another one where there's guys sneaking around and they're sneaking up on you. Lovely lullaby. From the top, also note, F chord is your only chord. It's a 1-chord song. Huh, sweet, right? Baritones right now are like, I can do F. Okay. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Top. Top. Who would write such a song? Oh my gosh. We don't even know. We think it's a Russian 19th century song. We don't know. We don't know where it came from. All right. The internet doesn't know where it came from. That's how good it is. All right. Baritone version. All C chords. How much? Right? I could teach you 3 blind mice, or I could teach you this when you first start playing ukulele. What? You're welcome that you got 3 blind mice. Here we go, from the top. Same thing. 1, 2, ready, play. To the top. Go forward. To the top. Keep going. There we go. Okay, you're welcome. All right, so there's Tili Tili Bom. How are we doing on time? We're in perfect shape. Okay, so Tili Tili is definitely stuck in my head. Thanks, Gary. I was the other day, I'm sitting there, I don't even know what I was doing. And I'm probably ruining people's lives. No, it does not get in your head. Christine will not allow it in her head. Hey, Red, good to see you. Yeah, it's definitely stuck in my head. Actually, the one that seems to be showing up more in my head is the Anti-Lullaby. That seems to be the one. The cool part about lullabies, right? We think they're like Brahms' lullaby. All of them, just everything works and they're all put together nice and beautiful and sweet. That's not the case at all. I have a whole book of lullabies sitting over there, and as I was, getting my stuff ready for you guys, I'm flipping through there and I'm playing through a bunch of them. So many of them creepy, weird, hard to play, awkward chords. There's something, because they come from, deep in the folk tradition where mom is singing to her child, and sometimes she's mad and sometimes she's exhausted, and sometimes probably dads are doing the same thing. And so these kind of unusual chord structures, things that don't really make sense, random weird off notes start showing up, and of course by the time somebody writes them in a book, they're trying to capture that sort of the essence of what the song is. So they can be actually, I'd say that this is, every bit as tough as some of the more advanced classical stuff we were playing, in terms of notes that don't belong in there, things that are kind of awkward shapes and awkward things. That F chord with the 4 up there just drives me wild. It's like, what is that note doing there? It doesn't belong there. And sure enough, it's in there absolutely. So there we go. All right. Totally different. Let's go grab Hansel and Gretel Lullaby, which is a very pleasant little tune, modern tune, couple years old. I'm usually roughly about 40 to 50 years behind getting sheet music written, and so most of the stuff we do is from the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? It's only pure coincidence that most of you are from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. But this is from 2021, so you're playing a brand new tune. We're knocking the dust off of it. I'm probably going to get a call from a Disney lawyer going, you can't have that on your website. And then I'll be like, okay, and I'll take it off. But for now, I haven't got that call yet, so we're going to play it. Delightful Lullabies for Ukulele. This is, I think I switched it to Ukulele Baby. I think that's what I'm going to put on all these. Play down to 20, come back up, and then play down to the bottom. Here again, we have some kind of interesting notational things that we don't typically see in music. Remember, at 21, you're playing in 6/8 through this whole beginning section, so that really feels like you're playing in 2. Then you get to 21, and all of a sudden you're playing in 3. Bum, 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 and then the 6/8, the two dotted quarter notes. And then over in measure 24, you're playing duplets, which is going to feel slow because you're fitting 4 notes into the space of 6, right? So it'll be the rhythm through that section is really cool if we can get it. I will probably get it close, but it's definitely something you can kind of mess around with and turn it into something that you like. But darkness when darkness when the darkness opens wide, swallowing up the dun dun bum 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 ba dum ba da da dum ba bum ba bum. Okay, that's it. That's how we go. All right, and again, quarter note equals 60, so not fast. No reason to race around. And what a cool intro, right? There's your first notes. Don't you love that? Okay. All right. I'm going to try it in plucking and see how it sounds. I may switch to thumb at some point. Nice and slow. 1, 2. Go. A little faster. To the top. That note and then go. Slow it down. All right. So I think the section from 21 through I don't know about 31. That's the section that determines how fast you play the song. I probably play that a little bit on the faster side, and probably didn't pull it off as successfully as I should have. And so I would think about that as I'm getting ready to, take this on the road. Is, hey man, don't play it so fast because you got that pretty challenging section in 21 through 30. So play whatever speed I can play that at. That's what I can play the rest of that. All right, we're wrapping it up. 45 minutes to play 10 songs, guys. Yay. We're so awesome. Hopefully hopefully, if these songs are super hard for you, you know that this is super hard, right? This is not something you just fall off the turnip truck and can play. Hopefully, if they're going pretty well for you, you're like, yeah, I'm all that. You know, because all of these songs today requiring my full attention. Okay, and so you should know they are hard songs, and hopefully you have fun with them. Hansel and Gretel Lullaby on baritone. Look at the chords, lovely A minor, D, F, and G. Those are an E minor in there somewhere. These are all chords that you know on ukulele. Okay, and if we were playing together, you would help me keep the pace a little bit slower than I just played it. Okay, all right. This will be our swan song for the week. And Lynn says, "Hey, Lynn, good to see you." I should look up here. Hey, Lynn, good to see you. I always look over here. I notice that when I'm shutting down the system, I'm like, you never look at the camera. Look at the camera. That's where the people are. Okay, from the top. Let's play together. Let's make it beautiful. This is a wonderful tune. I don't even know who these two kids that wrote this thing, Michael Kramer and Ali Federer. I'm assuming that if her name is Ali and he's Michael, and they're young people, but I don't know. It's a good song. Here we go, and it's from something on TV. I don't know. One of you guys maybe want to check it out and let me know if it's worth chasing down. But it's super cute. Apparently, it's some sort of show where they're redoing lullabies, or not lullabies, they're redoing fairy tales. All right, from the top. To be counted, nice and slow. 1, 2. Slow. Speed faster. To the top. There was another note there. Maybe I'll put one in one of these days. I'm exhausted. Wasn't that fun? Isn't that beautiful? That's really good stuff. Hey, I'm going to head off and teach a harmonica class. You guys should come by and grab your harmonicas and come with us. Hopefully your hands are exhausted. Your whole body's exhausted. Hopefully this music is challenging. Hopefully it's not demoralizingly challenging. Could be. If it is, just play the melody, right? And the chords themselves, I think, were rational. I have been planning on getting you guys out an email all week about a new, doing some lead sheet arranging and doing some composing and stuff. I have failed utterly. Had a cat crisis all last week, so Henry's fine. He just gave us a bit of a scare, and so I'm behind, and I will get stuff to you this weekend, and I hope you're having a wonderful time. Stay warm, stay cool. If you're Sandy and you're wearing a sweater, stay warm. If you're Cat and you're boiling, I don't know what to go to the mall. I guess they have an air conditioner there. Hope you're having a great day. Hope ukulele is a part of your life. This is so much fun. I play all these instruments and they're all work. This one a little bit less work and a lot more fun. So hopefully you catch that too. Oh, Linda said we had a nice duet. Yay, that's exciting. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I will be getting you some stuff this weekend. Okay, what do I do? Peace.